We are back at Mars today. I hope it's a great day from wherever you're viewing from. This is episode 5. I'm self-titling it The Terrain of Mawrth Vallis. This episode is being recorded on May the 28th, 2026 at 15:01 Coordinated Mars time. So let's get started. Today we're going to be looking at a region of Mars known as Mawrth Vallis, or otherwise known as Mawrth Valley. Have a quick look. Okay, the image that we're going to be looking at is titled Layered Deposits North of Mawrth Vallis. Here is the high resolution image, ESP 068997, and we're going to be focusing on this area or region right in here. Let's have a look at our first image. So what are we looking at here? Just have a look for a few seconds. Notice anything? Well, this one is a very high altitude image. I tried to clear it up. This is the best I could get it. But what I see here is highly eroded, potentially structures and remnants from a long time ago. Just look closely for a minute. Take a look at this area right down in here, this dark area. I see a lot of these protrusions nicely aligned in nice, neat rows. Just have a look. It looks like a layout to me. Looks like kind of like a grid layout. Now, let's have a look right up in here. Again, I see a lot of straight lines. This area looks organized. I see what could be structures all in here. Look in here, a nice neat row of these structures or protrusions or whatever you want to call them. Just have a look. Maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing. But let's move on to our next image. What I've done here is I've taken the last image and rotated it 45 degrees to help give you a better visualization as to what I'm trying to share. Again, have a look at this area right in here, all through here. And again, notice the nice, neat rows of these structures, protrusions. Again, whatever you want to call them, you can see them a little better. And again, you can see the same thing up in here, which, as I said previously, this whole area looks like a layout of possibly a past city, town, village that's eroded over hundreds of thousands of years, and this is what you're seeing here is what's remaining. Let's move on. Okay, again here I've rotated the original image, this time by 90 degrees, to just give you another perspective, which is kind of how you have to really look at things when you're analyzing something, especially images that are mostly of poor quality with a little bit of blur in it. But regardless, have a look again. Here, now you can see it lengthwise. You can see this nice, neat row of structures right in here. Again, you see a bunch here and more in here and all through here. Now we move to the top part of the image. You can see some straight lines, which could be roads, structures. I'm going to try and zoom in just a little bit. It's going to get a little bit blurry, but have a look. Look right here at this thing. It has a long rectangular shape. Could this be a high-rise building or the remnant of a high-rise building? Anything's possible. Okay, next image. Here we're looking at a region very close to the last set of images that I shared. This one, how I can describe it is, it looks like, if you look towards the center of the image, again, I'm seeing what looks like a layout, highly organized. I see a lot of symmetry in there. What it looks like to me is right in here, it looks like an upside down U shape. Now, if you look towards the bottom, notice all these objects aligned right through to here and right on the bottom here that could be structures. You can see what appears to be a possible roadway right in the middle. And up in here, which these ones aren't so clear, but again, you know, you're dealing with erosion that has been ongoing for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. So we can never say for sure. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. And again, it does get blurry, but just have a close look. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to share. And we're going to move on to our next image. In our last image of the day, I wanted you to have a look at what appears to be, at first glance, a couple of craters. Again, this is from Mawrth Vallis, similar, a region close to the other images that I've shared today. So the first crater here, if you notice, it does look like a crater. Its shape is roundish, but it's quite irregular in shape. And it looks like it has a lot of depth to it. Now, notice what's inside the crater. It looks like a lot of debris, but maybe not so fast. Maybe this is something else. It looks highly unusual to see that inside a crater. Usually you see a lot of sandy terrain with ripples in it. So I found this quite interesting, which is why I wanted to share this. Now, if we go to this other crater up here, this one looks more symmetrical in shape. In fact, it looks quite round. If you just follow this side right here, that looks quite round. Now, up in here, it does look like some type of rocky terrain surrounding it, surrounding the rim. Again, we can't say for sure, but what's highly unusual about this crater, if it is a crater, is this pointy, triangular shaped protrusion. I find that highly unusual, and I thought it was quite interesting. Now, if you look inside the crater, again, you see what looks like what I would call some type of debris. Maybe it's not debris, maybe it's something else. Again, this is highly unusual, and it doesn't look like your typical crater. I didn't measure the size of these, so I can't provide that information. So that's about it for this image. Well, that about does it for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll be back real soon.